Hey everyone, so this is my review of Scorpion Season 4, Episode 1, called Extinction. And essentially what this episode is about is that Team Scorpion must work with their old enemy, Mark Collins, to help try and stop this massive extinction level event. And this was a really interesting and kind of entertaining episode that did a good job of sort of reintroducing and sort of picking up where the last season left off at their finale. And just how all that sort of worked together was really kind of interesting and entertaining to see. And when I read all the descriptions and all this stuff sort of heading up to the introducing of this episode, and everyone was talking about how it was going to be a musical episode, I was really kind of annoyed and really kind of wary of how all that was going to work out. But it really wasn't a musical episode. There was one musical number at the very beginning and then kind of sort of one at the very end. But that was essentially it. So I'm very happy that it wasn't a musical episode, because there's some shows that can do it and I feel I can nail it, and then there's some shows like this one where they just can't. And that, like I said, I'm happy that it didn't actually happen. And them bringing back Mark Collins was very interesting with how they decided to play off the character, where it seemed like they wanted him to be their friend, but then also he kept doing all these terrible, terrible things. And that was interesting how that played out, where the previous time we saw him, he was trying to destroy Toby and Happy's relationship, and now in this episode, he's trying to destroy Paige and Walter's, which, yes, some of the points that he brought up, I very much agree with, where they just don't work together. So that was very interesting to see how all that played out. And I didn't much care for all the different moments when they tried to make him the good guy, because the whole scene where he accidentally knocks Toby into this frozen lake and stuff like that just didn't seem accidentally at all. And then the scene where he helps Cade to sort of stop this fire and stuff that's going on, and he got stuck even though he volunteered to do all this stuff, and it was supposed to be this big sort of heroic moment for him, just didn't quite stick in my mind, because I still think about all the terrible stuff that he's done. So really, in my mind, there's very little chance of redemption for this guy. That yes, they did show that he's starting to change, it's starting to become good, but he just can't reach that with his mental state and stuff like that. I think that there's always going to be a bit of this angry, aggressive guy who hates Walter and hates the rest of the team still going to be there. So I don't think that he has much of a redemption, but we'll see in the next episode, because where this episode left off, it definitely seems like he's going to be sticking around for at least one more episode. So we'll see what happens then, but I still don't think that he's going to be this big, grand, sort of better character that the show seemed to want to kind of make him into. I feel like there's going to be something there that always makes him the bad guy. And I really enjoyed how they sort of split off the team and played off everything with Happy and Sylvester going down into this trench to sort of stop the methane gas from leaking. Or at least set up for the equipment and stuff that they need to stop it. And how they all seemed normal and fine until it finally clicked in their head that, wait, we're not fully acting right. So then they realized that they are sort of being unstable because of all the methane, and they're getting that poisonous sort of effect to them. So that was interesting to watch how that sudden light bulb sort of clicked in Happy's head and realized, oh crap, we need to get out of here. And I'm very curious to see what might happen, or if anything will happen, with Sylvester losing his ring that he got when he got married to Walter's sister. And how that might eventually play back into something or all that, because he did lose it back into that trench. And I wasn't a big fan of all the different comments that kept being brought up between Happy and Toby. And them talking about these rules that they set up when they got married, and how one of them brought up whenever the other one sort of broke one of those rules, and it seemed like these rules were sort of set up for them to be a bit more like a normal sort of couple. But that's odd to me because they aren't a normal couple, and just I don't think that's all going to work out for them as much as they think it will. And then just, yeah, this was a really interesting and entertaining sort of first episode, and I'm very curious where they're going to go after this episode ended on sort of a cliffhanger. So how they're going to fix all these problems that happened at the very end of this episode. I guess I thought it was okay. It wasn't the best episode out there that they've done, but definitely was a fairly great sort of first episode for a season. So yeah, that's my review of Scorpion Season 4, Episode 1, called Extinction. So yeah,